There was this person I know in his late 30s and working as the head of department of a large corporation. As the department head, he was constantly under pressure to deliver the challenging targets handed down by his bosses. He has a nasty smoking habit where he was smoking about 2 to 3 packs a day. We had been friends since college and he wasn't a smoker then. One day, as we were chit-chatting over lunch, I asked him, "When do you start smoking? Aren't you aware of the health risks?" He said that initially he was just a social smoker, which means that he was only smoking so that he could be part of his group of smoking co-workers in the office. He was well aware of the health risks even before he started, but thought that 1 or 2 cigarettes wouldn't hurt. Gradually, without realizing it, he found himself enjoying smoking. 1 or 2 sticks a day wasn't enough, and he started smoking more often. Eventually, he became addicted to the habit. His wife and 5-year-old daughter tried to persuade him to quit, but he convinced himself that he needed to keep smoking to help him handle the stress he was getting at work. One night, he suddenly had difficulty breathing and was rushed to the hospital. He thought he was going to die. The doctor diagnosed his condition as pneumothorax, a condition where your lungs just collapsed. According to the doctor, it was probably caused by his smoking habit. In the hospital bed, he kept thinking about what could have happened to his wife and daughter if he had died. How would his wife and daughter cope with losing him? All these thoughts went through his mind. He finally realized how much he loved his family, and he was being very selfish in risking his health by indulging his craving with the next cigarette. Since then, he made a resolution to quit smoking. It was tough initially, of course, but whenever his craving arose, he reminded himself of his family, which was the primary reason why he wanted to quit. Today, after 2 years since that incident, he has successfully quit the habit. He was also able to better cope with stress at work after practicing Buddhist meditation. Everyone today has lived their lives dominated by their blind and selfish emotions. Although our intelligence or thinking faculty could reason things out and know what is right and wrong, our blind emotions always get the better of us without us even realizing it. Oftentimes, when we get something pleasurable, we want more of it, and we want that feeling to last. We try to hold on to that feeling either by protecting the object of pleasure or seeking a new object of pleasure in replacement of the old. The truth is that everything in this world exists only due to the presence of the necessary conditions, and the only constant in nature is change. Nothing lasts forever, and when we lose the very object that gives us pleasure, we are unhappy, even though at times we know very well that it will not last. Even seeking a new object of pleasure and before getting it is an unhappy state because it is not a state that we like to enjoy. We hate it, but don't realize it because it's habitual, that we live a life letting our emotions make all the decisions of our actions. Unwittingly, we get dragged down into this never-ending abyss of woe. My point is, it is important to understand that the origin of all our unhappiness or suffering and our feelings of insecurity are our blind emotions that influence our thoughts to be self-centered. This thought leads us to seek sensual pleasure, to be angry, to despair, and be depressed, to fear and worry, and to a notion that there is an I or me. This concept of I or me, in turn, needs to be satisfied with pleasure, possessions, fame, praise, and to be shielded from pain, loss, disgrace, and blame. This is the second reality that was taught by the Buddha. In the next episode, we will discuss what is needed to eliminate unhappiness or suffering. Before we end, I'd like to leave a Buddha's quote with you. Rule your mind, or it will rule you. Well, thank you for watching Buddha Talk. As promised, I try to keep these videos short. If you find my video interesting, hit the like and subscribe button. If you have any comments, questions, or any subject you wish to discuss, leave me a comment below. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.